Hello, everybody. This is Peter Palmiotti of Humanod Studio, and hopefully, won't have issues, but my internet is being a little laggy or something. Um, but that's okay. We'll power through this. Welcome. This is Making Comics and Art, episode 64. And today I have Randy on. Hey, Randy.
Hey, what's up, man?
Why are you here today?
I am here to talk to you about Kill Reaver. But I'm also here just to talk about comics and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Whatever you want to talk about.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we could jump right into. Want to share your screen and go over to the Kickstarter and show people all what you got going on.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me just. Let me get it here. All right. Nah. All right.
Hey, everybody.
All right. Shared. All right.
Sweet.
So there we go.
So we see it. You got 47 days. 47% funded. 7 days left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did it get smaller? Hold on.
Okay.
So yeah, we're at 566, and we're almost halfway to the funding goal, but we've got a week left to try and get there, and I can show some of the artwork from it. This is the cover.
Yep. Yeah, it's an amazing cover.
Color artwork by me, drawn by me, colors by Matt Yackey. He's a really good colorist. I want to get him to color the whole book, but depends on how much money we can make or whatever. Here's some of the pages. This is a pinup. Well, this was the original cover, but I changed it up because I wanted to have a little bit more going on than just like the character standing there, But this is kind of like one of the first drawings I did of the character. Yeah. The new cover tells a little bit more of a story, or shows a little bit more. Here's some more interior art.
Absolutely.
The artwork, the comic, I want it to be full color. If we get funded, it'll be full color. So right now we only have some of the black and white interiors done, but hopefully we'll get funded and then we can get it, color. Stretch goals, we got some, but I don't even want to go over them because I just want to get funded. I'm not really worried about the stretch meeting, making any stretch goals right now. I just want to get to 1,200.
Right.
I'm not really worried about that. But yeah, here's a bunch of the artwork and stuff. So yeah, that's about it.
So what are we talking? It's a regular size comic.
Yeah, it'll be like
Is this your? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a regular size. Well, I mean, it's gonna be 40 pages, but it's a regular format, comic book, stapled, that kind of thing. I had some stretch goals put in to make it more like a graphic novel, but I'm not really expecting to make that much, so we're just gonna keep it at a comic right now.
So will this be a ongoing series or like a mini series? What's your plan?
It's set up the way I have it plotted out right now. It's a 3-issue series. So
awesome.
So hopefully, if we get funded, next year sometime we'll probably launch Kill Reaver #2. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So people know I got, below the video in the description box, got the link to the campaign. Go check it out. Pledge if you can. If you can't, sharing definitely help. Last 7 days, like Randy said, let's get this book funded.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to get out and promote it as much as possible. It's been kind of tough because I have a full-time job and stuff too. So, it's getting there.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough.
Well, I've helped it around, and I even telling friends about it.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So is this your first book that you've worked on?
It's my first book that I've done completely by myself. I've worked on some smaller independent stuff in the past, but I haven't done my own thing probably in almost like 20 years. I've been working in illustration and stuff like that, and I have a full-time job as a tattoo artist. So this is kind of like my first comic book project, I'd say, since like the early 2000s. But like back in the 90s, I worked on, did some things here and there for a few independent publishers, and I did some inking and stuff like that. But I haven't done anything on my own, so this is kind of the big step towards self-publishing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's looking so good. And where are you in the process of getting the first book done?
Right now I have about 15 pages penciled, and I'd say roughly around 10 finished inks. I have a few that I've like started that I have to go back and finish some of the panels, but yeah, I mean, we're getting there. But like, if I get funded, like going forward,
I mean,
that's all I'm going to work on.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, I haven't seen you really speak on it. You showing off your work on the book and the cover and the pages, and it's definitely looking great. It's like, as somebody watching from the outside, it's like, oh, I guess he's having no problem. He's just working on pages and
yeah. I'm definitely gonna.
It's like it's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a delay, but
I got you there. But yeah, like right now I'm working on a lot of commissions and stuff aside from Kill Reaver. So like once the book gets funded, I plan on putting like everything into working on the pages. So I'll have everything done. I imagine I'd have everything done by like January. So start working on getting it printed and getting the lettering and stuff, all the production stuff finished, and then we'll go to print. So like I'm a pretty fast artist once I get going on stuff.
Awesome. It must be. I mean, only a short time ago it seems like that you started on it.
Yeah. Trying to get it done as fast as I can.
Cool. Do you want to give people a glimpse of what the story is about?
Sure. Yeah. Basically, the Kill Reaver is the main character. He is a member of a tribe of warriors who basically they protect this kingdom, and it turns out that the king is kind of corrupt, and he orders them all to be assassinated because he's learned that someone within the Kill Reavers is a group. It starts out as a group. I'm sorry, I don't know if I said that. But it ends up that this king has all of them killed, but one guy survives, and that's the Kill Reaver now. And he's basically on a mission to like get revenge and find out, who killed all of his friends or whatever in the Kill Reaver group. And there's some plot twists that I don't want to like divulge, but basically the first book is basically a big revenge story, and it's a warrior who's like making his way to find this king and basically kill him. I think Peter's internet is having some issues. Are you there, Pete?
It seems like majorly. I did just do it. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just cutting
out. My computer did an update, so I'm just coming off of that. I think it's really screwed things up. Apologies.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine. When you're there, you're good, but it just kind of cuts out every now and then.
Yeah, I do notice a big delay.
Yeah, it's kind of
right now.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like I almost want to just give you the floor.
Yeah. Well, do you have any questions from the chat?
There you go.
Oh, here we go. I see. I see him. All right. Oh, looks like we got a lot of the regulars in here. Okay, let's see. Okay, Abe,
Cool.
Randy, are you further along than most other crowdfunded artists at this point in your campaign? Less than 7 or 8 months. Yeah. I think I have it. I have my my fulfillment date as April. But honestly, that just was to give me enough of a cushion that I wouldn't be late. But I think if we get funded, I could definitely have this thing done by like February, maybe. I think I'll have all the artwork done. Might take a little longer to get it colored and lettered and stuff. I'm not sure, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll definitely have it done by April. That shouldn't be a problem at all. So we're already almost into we're in November, but yeah, I should be able to have it all done pretty easily. I'm more worried about just getting funded at this point, because if it doesn't get funded, I have to come up with like another plan. I'll probably relaunch it next year, try to crowdfund it again, or if I just finish up the book, I might just do it as like a black and white comic because it's a lot cheaper to print, and I'll just sell them online and people can just buy it and just kind of screw the crowdfunding campaign. Um, let's see who else is in here. There's not really any questions, but we got Gibrans in here yelling Kill Reaver in the chat, which is always nice. And I don't know what else. What else is there to say except to go back Kill Reaver. I guess I can go over some of the perks. Let's see. I got my featured perk right now is a sketch card commission. So you can commission basically a sketch card, full color of any character you want. It doesn't have to be from Kill Reaver. And it's $75. You get a sketch card commission and both covers of the book. So it's a pretty good deal, I think. It's kind of what I'm kind of pushing right now. There's one of 10 claims, so we got 9 left. So if someone wants to hop on that, you can get whatever character you want. And then we have just the book, the color cover. So $15 plus shipping. You get the Kill Reaver #1 with the beautiful color cover. And then if you are a fan of line art variants like I am, you can get Kill Reaver #1 line art cover. So it's $15, same price as the color cover, but it's going to be there's going to be much fewer of these available because it's just it's more of like a variant. So there's not going to be as many printed. You can get both books at a little bit of a discounted price. So you get 2 comics for $25 and plus shipping. And that's kind of the best deal out of the bunch. And then we have an original sketch tier. So this is $75 and you get an original sketch of Kill Reaver done on like done the size of like a comic book backing board. And you get both comics. We have an original comic page. So for $100, you get an original page from the comic, plus both comics, the color cover and the line art cover. The original cover art. So you get the original artwork for the cover for $300, plus 2 copies of the comic, the color cover and the line art cover. And then we have the tier that everyone seems to love, the perk that everyone loves, is the drawn into the book. So for $300, you can have your likeness drawn into the book as a villain getting, killed by the Kill Reaver, basically. So plus you'll get the original artwork from the page that you're featured on, and you'll get a copy of each cover of the book too. So it's $300, but it's a pretty good deal. You get you get your likeness in the comic, and you get the page that it appeared on, the original artwork for it.
Yep.
Okay, let me see. We got more questions. Oh, we got Hex Allen. I know that dude. He's a cool dude. Yeah. Love your works. Awesome. I appreciate that. So, Peter, are you back? Are you back? Are you there? Are you okay? What's going on?
Am I? You tell me. I have no idea.
You're sounding better. So I think maybe you're back in here. Oh, here we go. Gibbons,
Okay, let's attempt to have a
have
a conversation.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm dying out here alone, Peter. You know, you're killing me.
Oh man, I don't want that.
I'm just kidding.
So yeah, take Gibran's question, and then we'll try.
Okay, cool. Yeah. What did you say? Do you have someone picked out for colors and letters? Well, yeah. Like, I definitely want Matt hire Matt Yackey to color the book because I think he's awesome. But if I can't afford his rates, I will probably. I might look into getting someone who has a little bit less of a page rate, or I will color it myself. I'm not sure yet. Letters wise, I had someone reach out to me that offered to letter it, so I might go with him. I can't remember his name right now. It was on Twitter. He sent me some samples and they look good, but I could always letter it. I could always letter it myself too, but yeah, I don't remember his name now. That's bad. Letterers need to be, represented too. I have to look it up. But yeah,
is he for sure going to be doing your lettering?
No. I mean, he basically offered to do it. Sent me like his page rate samples, and I thought, I haven't hired him, so if I hire him, I'll get his name down. But yeah, I haven't really figured out a letter yet. So.
Yeah.
So
there's plenty of them out there.
Oh yeah, I know. It's lettering is like a thankless job in comics because, like, people don't appreciate them, but good lettering makes a difference. That's one thing, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, lettering, coloring are definitely important. Because the art, amazing art, could definitely suffer if the rest of the team isn't that good.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So, cool. So I want to mention just briefly the next episode, which might be tomorrow, might be the day after, we'll see, is going to be my 600th video up on YouTube.
Wow.
So I figured I'd do something a little special, but not totally different. I'll just be, highlights to, where I've been throughout the decades.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that should be fun. Yeah, it's like, I've done some stuff for Patreon, and that's like unlisted. But as far as the listed videos, I have 500, and this will be 599 today. So tomorrow or Friday, I'll do episode 600.
That's awesome. Wow. I think I have I think I have like 10 YouTube
Yeah,
videos.
you know. Mhm. Oh man, don't go crazy now.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
It's it's like anything. It's a fun place to be, and definitely, all the networking and hang out with other creators.
Yeah.
I've definitely learned a lot more than I would have otherwise. Because I've mostly just been an inker in this industry and
Yeah.
trying to expand
Oh,
on
definitely.
my own books and
Yeah.
got
Well,
things going.
yeah.
But of course, it's taking it's taking me a lot longer than it's taking you to work on your book.
Well, but yeah, I don't know. What I was gonna say though is like thing with like YouTube and doing and live streaming and stuff. It's kind of become the thing in the past couple of years as far as if you're trying to crowdfund comics, you have to be on the internet. It's really the only way to really get um the word out there about your project. You can't just like throw it up on Indiegogo or Kickstarter and expect all these people to come in and buy it, because that just doesn't work that way. Even if it's like the greatest comic in the world, people need to see it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's like if I had the money, I would be throwing parties, but that even now that doesn't work.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
it's
You can,
it's like I always thought like to do a true launch of my comic, I would
yeah,
have one, at least one, but maybe a few different people dressed up as a retro and start
sure,
like
yeah,
running around town.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean that's something that I mean obviously go if you did something like that, going to conventions and having people dressed up as your character and stuff, that's great. But like right now in a pandemic, we kind of have to go to the internet. So it's like there's not much we can really do other than that right now.
Yeah, Stinch.
Yeah, Stinch.
No, it's definitely good to getting the word out on your
Yeah,
creation, and it's like you said, like a lot more creators are doing this, and a lot more are hitting up like all the shows. They're going on like each night they're on somebody else's show talking about their
yeah,
book over and over and over again, but hitting a different audience. Because it's pretty much like you're releasing a movie, and you got to go talking on radio stations and all the
yeah, yeah.
different TV stations, and now cable and streaming service, and
It is. It's a lot like that. Just on like a smaller,
yeah.
nerdier scale, but but it's similar. Pete, you have like a delayed reaction to everything I say. It's kind of cracking me up.
I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have freaking updated my computer. That's what screwed it up.
You know, when I say my corny jokes, I expect instant laughter, but it's like I have to wait. I'm like, oh, maybe that wasn't funny.
It's it's yeah, it's all in the timing, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
timing's off. It's okay.
timing is So why this story? Why not you know a Wall Street analyst in modern day?
Yeah,
Why not an astronaut? Why not? Like why specifically this story?
yeah, that's a good question. I honestly I do have other ideas for like superhero comics and I have an idea for like a horror story and stuff like that. So I was kind of like thinking what would be the best genre for me to kind of mix a lot of things into one, and fantasy like sword and sorcery just seemed kind of like the first thing that came to mind, because you can kind of do you know everything in one book, so like he's kind of like a superhero. He's fighting villains, and you know there's monsters, and then there's you know all the things that you would have in superhero comics are in this comic too. So it's just kind of like a mix of everything. And another thing I think is that when you do fantasy, you're not beholden to any sense of reality, so it's a lot easier to come up with story ideas and stuff like that, because you're not held back by making things somewhat realistic, or using realistic locations or stuff like that. So that's kind of why I did this as my first book.
No, that's cool. So I imagine this is a mature book, that there'll be blood and other stuff, other good stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely not like for kids. There's not going to be any like nudity or anything like that, but there's definitely violence. Not too crazy though. I don't know. But there will be blood. There will be blood, definitely.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, like basically, just the fact that I have a perk where you can like get drawn into the book getting killed. I'm not. Kind of sets the tone of what we have going on here.
And could the person getting that reward, could they say I happy it, or something?
Yeah. I'll probably give them the choice of what they how they want to go out.
Sweet. So what are, like, I know you before, and we chatted, but it's like impossible for me to remember what I did yesterday. So who were your artistic influences in comics?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think like I don't know. Right now, I've been getting into a lot of Barry Windsor Smith. I've been looking at Weapon X, like that he did back in the '90s. Yeah, like I've been kind of like, but as far as like generally, I would say like my favorite artists are probably like Adam Hughes. A lot of those guys that were in Gaijin Studios back in the '90s. So you had like Dave Johnson,
Stelfreeze.
Stelfreeze, yeah, I love Stelfreeze. So yeah, like a lot more of those guys. And then like as far as like older guys, I'm really big fan of like Michael Golden and Mignola, Arthur Adams, like that kind of stuff. But I kind of take my influences from everywhere, because I'm also really influenced by Drew Struzan, the movie poster artist. So, it's just
Yep.
I kind of have a lot of artists that I really enjoy, and I kind of I'm influenced by like all of them, so it's kind of hard to like pinpoint my style. It's not really, it's like all over the place.
Well, I mean, it looks consistent. If you look at all the, go to your campaign page and look at all your black and white pages,
Yeah,
you can see a consistency to the work.
Yeah.
And like, are there any inkers that inspire your work?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I would say like inker wise, I don't know. I mean, like I look at like a lot of like Brian Boland, um, Kevin Nolan. Yeah, Kevin Nolan. I forgot
Right.
to mention him. He's a huge influence on me. I don't. Yeah, I would say those probably. As far as like my inking style. Yeah, there's newer guys
Yeah,
too. Like
I love Kevin's work.
yeah, he's great. There's some
Yeah.
newer guys. There's some newer guys too, like out that I can't really think of their names right now. That I just kind of see their work on like Instagram and stuff, and I'm like blown away. One of them is I just remember his name, Dan Mora. I don't know if you're familiar with his stuff, but he's doing a lot of stuff for like DC right now, and
Yeah.
he's really good. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it is nothing but like just tons of amazing on Instagram.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah.
That's where I get my inspiration now.
Yeah. I definitely do too. I'm like always looking for new stuff, and yeah, there's so many talented artists on Instagram. Sometimes it gets a little depressing.
Are you inspired by other tattoo artists?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, like I don't really bring it into my comic work so much, but yeah, there's tattoo artists that like. My favorite tattoo artist is Bob Tyrell. He's a portrait artist, black and gray portrait artist. I've been a fan of his for a long time. So
Cool.
uh,
Do you feel like as a tattoo artist that it benefits your comic work in any way?
yeah, definitely, because like I'm drawing all the time, working on art for like 40 45 hours a week at my day job. So then when I go home, I don't need to warm up when I go to draw like a page or anything. I'm ready to go because I'm always drawing. So sometimes though it can be a bad thing though, because I work 8 hours 10 hours a day tattooing, and then when I get home I don't really want to draw, but I make it work.
How do you think you're really disciplined when it comes to like working on your own comic? I hear lots of creators that it's easy to work for other people, but it's a lot harder to work for yourself. Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't really gotten into any problems yet, but yeah, I mean, I can see that because it's a lot easier. That's the one thing I think that is good about crowdfunding is you at least are setting a deadline for yourself, whereas if you're just working on a comic for as kind of like a side project, it can be a thing where you're not as disciplined about getting it done. So yeah, I think having crowdfunding it and actually getting funded and then having a deadline that you have to meet, it helps a lot. So that's kind of what I think about that.
Yeah. So, do you ever find yourself challenged by, what you have in your head that you want to put on paper, and it comes out like totally different? Or
yeah, definitely. Like that's why what I usually do is I kind of thumbnail everything out smaller, so I have a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to put on the page. But that's probably the hardest part for me, though, is like the storytelling and the 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 movement of characters in action and stuff, because I come from more of like an illustration background and kind of like, everything that I do illustration wise is using like photo reference, and I kind of pose things out and stuff like that. But it doesn't always work well in a comic book. So you have to, the key element is storytelling. That's what I'm trying to keep my storytelling better. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you know Paul Gulacy. He's done a lot of stuff, but he did a book for Marvel back in the day, Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. Yeah. And he sort of has a unique approach when it comes to action in comics. He's very cinematic, but he doesn't do sound effects. So you see like things in action, but they don't have action lines. It's all very just still images that represent action. And it's like I always thought that was a really interesting approach. Like everybody, like every artist has their own unique way of like things they do and don't do. And what would you say like your skills lie? Like, what do you do best?
That's a good question. I think like as far as me, I think like my style is definitely more on the illustrative style. So like I try to make it look realistic without being too overly photo realistic. But I definitely like using reference and making stuff as realistic as possible. But I also think that a lot of I think one of my strong points is definitely inking and kind of like all the detail I put into a piece, and storytelling is probably my weakness, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's I do know, like I love thumbnailing. It doesn't mean like I'm a master at it, but I love the process of it. Of just like visually just putting down a story into pictures.
Yeah, I definitely.
I know that's something I'll be working on myself.
Yeah, I enjoy that process too. I like doing the thumbnails, and then kind of, it's cool to see like your thumbnail fleshed out into like a finished page, and I do enjoy that process. But I'd say that process, the doing the actual thumbnails is probably the hardest part for me. As well, writing the story is actually probably the hardest part. But if we're just talking about art wise, like like getting the thumbnails to a point where I can go forward with them is probably my weak point. But the more you do things, the better you get at it. And sometimes being an artist, I get like hard, down on myself a little bit, because I have that whole artist thing where you hate your own work, but I'm trying to get over that.
Yeah. There's definitely that about like, you always want to be better than most of what you do, and you can't look at old stuff because it's like, oh man, So much better now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Um, it's like I've had where like somebody bought a piece of artwork I did, and I didn't deliver it because I'm like, I could do better. So it's like, I'm just going to do a better piece and then give them that or give them
Yeah.
both. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
here's the better one.
I've done that before, definitely. For like
Thank you for
commission. Yeah.
yeah. So you mentioned like, wanting to do other stories as well. Do you see that yourself doing this like on a regular basis and maybe even overtaking your tattooing work?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to make enough. I have a family to support and stuff, so I'd have to make enough money off of it to do it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to transition into doing comics full time. It's yeah, that I would love, because honestly, I'm getting older and stuff, and the tattoo industry is a young person's thing, and comics are for everyone. Or so they say. I don't know.
Is tattoo a young thing? It's like I
Well,
see a lot of old tattoo artists.
yeah, that's true. No, I would say that yeah, there are a lot of it's not. I was kind of just joking, but yeah, no, it's more of a young
Yeah.
person's industry as far as the customers, obviously. But yeah, like there are a lot of old tattoo artists, but like nobody wants to go to those guys. They're creepy.
So you want to get out before you get creepy.
Yeah, and I mean, because being a creepy old comic book artist, that's not as bad. You just sit in your house drawing all day, nobody bothers you.
So true. So yeah, I mean, like when it comes to campaigns, and I've been a part of a few, and the Kickstarter for retro, just to get some initial funding, was really my first attempt, and that was a short one. That was 5 days.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to like sort of be experimental with it,
Yeah.
because I know like crowdfunding is the way to go. Definitely. Like,
Mhm.
there's everything else you can do. You can, talk to stores and get your book in stores. You can go through distributor if that's your choice. You can do digital.
Yeah.
You can, just like call fans one on one and say, "Hey, my book." I mean,
Yeah.
there's a million ways to do, but I think crowdfunding
Yeah.
is definitely the best way. And I've seen so many examples of successful ones, um,
Mhm.
that it's like it's a matter of growing your audience and letting people in general know that this is something you're passionate about, creating comics, and this is something you do on a regular basis and you always deliver, and so on and so forth. So like my overall point to that is I believe there's real money in it.
Oh
For
yeah.
some of us it's going to take us a little while, but
Yeah. There's yeah, I think it's been proven that there's money in it, and there's a lot of people think the comic book industry is dying and all this stuff, but that's there's a lot of that is kind of exaggerated. I think that comics are coming back, and this year has just been a terrible year for everything. So you can't really judge the future by what's been going on in 2020 because it's been crazy. But yeah, I think crowdfunding is definitely the way of the future, and I think I think a lot of people realize it because there's like so many damn comics out now on Kickstarter and Indiegogo that it's like kind of hard to even get noticed, you know? So it's like you have to promote, you have to do YouTube, you have to live stream and promote your stuff on social media as much as possible in order to get, you know, people to see it.
Yeah. Let's today's Wednesday. I'm going to be doing. I don't know if you've seen my Pimp Your Comic show.
Yeah.
But I'll be doing that probably Saturday night. You're definitely more than welcome to come on
Cool.
and talk about your book again and see what progress you've made.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll definitely set that up,
Cool.
so I can let people know about it beforehand. You know, what day, what time, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, is there anything we talked about that you wanted to get into?
I don't know. I think we basically pretty much covered everything that I can think of.
Yeah. You know, tell people come and check out my book and pledge. If you can't pledge, then share.
Yes.
I think more fans should be telling their parents about these campaigns. Get them involved.
Exactly. Tell your neighbor again. Just go over to your next door neighbor's house and just knock on their door and be like, "Kill Reaver." It'll work.
Kill Reaver.
You'll probably get
everybody must have one
apprehending you, but yeah, I mean, basically that's you know if you guys want to back me, that's great. But if not, yeah, if you can share things, send out the link on social media or whatever. I know not everyone can afford to back all of these great comics that are on Indiegogo and Kickstarter and whatnot. I myself have trouble backing all of the ones I want to, you know. So I get it, but if you can share, that'd be great.
Yeah, I currently have a campaigns. Not only that I pledged to, that I got to come up with money for, but others I want to pledge to.
Oh yeah.
It's an ongoing thing.
I keep like a list of things I want to back, and it's just like it gets out of control. I can't afford it all, but I want to help out people as much as possible because I know what they're going through, and I know the struggle of, you know, being an independent, you know, comic book creator. It's tough, you know. I get it.
Yeah. If you don't have that sort of built-in audience that, like, I know will follow me and on various sites and everything, but as soon as I put something up that like it's more than a dime, it's like all you see and hear are crickets.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
don't you follow my work?
Yeah. I have that's one thing. It's like you can't expect everyone to, you know. It's like I do that too. I go through and look at like how many, you know, Instagram followers I have, how many Twitter followers, how many friends I have on Facebook, and I'm like, I've only got fucking 20 backers. What the hell, you know? But it's just the way it is, you know. Wait, I have 22. 22.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. There you go. But yeah, you're almost halfway there. Like you said, you got a week left. You know, I mean, my campaign did what was 1,900 and change in in 5 days, so you could do it.
Yeah.
You gotta tell everybody every day, and play and post everywhere, and stream on your channel if you can.
Yeah, I know. I need to stream more. It's like I do here and there, but it seems like every time I want to start up a stream, I get caught up in something else, and I just like I don't know. Just gotta do it.
As a friend of mine, it was he does like a short video, so it's like a mini show, and then he posts it to YouTube as a premiere. Then what he does is he fans in the chat as the show is going. That was pretty brilliant.
Huh, that is pretty smart. Yeah. Huh. I would never have thought of that.
So all you have all you have to do is you just really have to be guerrilla marketing minded. What could I do? What would give me an edge or advantage, or just be seen by more people? What would Gibran do? That's what I ask myself.
I think he would just tell people to fuck off or something if they didn't back his book. That's just how he rolls. You know what I mean? That's just how he rolls.
That's it. It's just pretty much. So, have you read or seen anything lately that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, actually, the last series that I read, I just finished up, was the Batman 3 Jokers. I don't know if you've taken a look at that one, but it was pretty good.
I'm not really into mainstream. I've given them plenty of years of my life.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, the only mainstream stuff I follow are just certain artists that I like that work, in the mainstream. As far as like in indie stuff, one book that I think looks really good that I backed on Indiegogo is Hammerella by Ryan Wynn.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen that, but it's pretty cool.
Ryan's a cool guy. I've had him on my I've had him on my channel, and I'm supposed to be coming on his channel a couple of times coming up.
Well, cool.
He's supposed to let me know, but he does inkathons, I don't know, with other people, and he wants me on just a solo show with me and him talking about inking and all that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, cool.
He knows his stuff, and like while I was like inking on the East Coast, he was inking on the West Coast, so he has a whole different group of people he hung out with, so it would be really interesting.
You can start an East Coast versus West Coast inking rivalry, like the old rap gangster rap rivalries in the 90s.
It'd be like Image was nothing, man.
Yeah.
I was working for the big two.
Yeah.
Well, hell, even when I was inking backgrounds for Valiant, the remember Deathblow?
Oh yeah.
Deathblow was a sort of collaborative of Valiant and Image back. And while our books were on time, Image was falling behind schedule all the time.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah. You worked on that? I didn't know you worked on that.
Yeah. Well, I was inking backgrounds up at Valiant at the time, so technically I was working on the books. It's nothing I could point other than I ink those buildings or that weaponry.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
But yeah, it's like I've just been happy to be working. I mean, this is the world of freelance, and as long as you're making a paycheck and being just working on this or that, the other thing, whatever.
Yep,
it's all good.
Whatever you can do to get some work, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I am getting older, and I'm not my whole career. I've always been thinking legacy to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's why I'm working on my own books now. It's like I want to work on something where they won't kick me off after 4 issues.
Exactly. If it gets canceled, it's because you canceled it, right? Yeah.
That's right. And if I could afford it, it will just keep going. That's
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's an ongoing series. It's going to keep coming out.
Yep, exactly. That's
But
kind of my
Randy. Like I said, go ahead.
I was just saying that's my whole deal with Kill Reaver. If it doesn't get funded, I'm still gonna work on it and I'm still gonna make it. Like it it'll eventually see print in some way or another, and I will have it finished. So that's about it.
Cool. Yeah. So everybody go below the video is the link for the Indiegogo Kill Reaver on Kickstarter, issue 1, 7 days left. Let's get this funded. Share it around, and let's make this happen for Randy. Thanks for coming on. Always fun, and like I said, yeah, I figured maybe Saturday night. Should I do Saturday during the day? Maybe Saturday during the day. So like same time around Saturday.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll be around.
Yeah, I can try to make it work.
I'll set up the stream and cool.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming around. Thanks for joining the chat. If you're watching this later, please leave a comment below the video. Let me know what you thought of it. If you have any questions, as always, you can post them there. Give the video a like so it gets seen around the vast YouTube arena. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And I'll see you again tomorrow with my 600th video celebration. Well, tomorrow, Friday. One of those days. All right, everybody. Love you all. Take care.